Hey, Futurist Jim Carroll from the home broadcast studio. Listen, I want to tell you about a series I've been writing. You might have seen some of it, and I want to explain a little bit as to what's going on. I'm writing this series right now, 26 Principles to Master Exponential Growth in 2026. And this is the type of thing I do every year. Look, last year I covered 25 things I've learned that will carry me into 2025. The year before, 24 strategies for 2024. 23 trends for 2023, 19 trends for 2019. This all goes back to 2006 when I wrote my 10 great words for 2006. I'm going to put that out on January 1st, my 10 great words for 2026. But I want to tell you about this series. Look, I've been busy in 2025. I've written a whole bunch of stuff. I did a series about megatrends. That's at megatrends.jimcarroll.com. I wrote a series called tomorrow.jimcarroll.com, which was all about how do we survive and thrive in a period of economic volatility. That became my book, Dancing in the Rain, How Bold Leaders Grow Stronger in Stormy Times, which came out 2 months later. I wrote another one called forward.jimcarroll.com, which takes a look at how every single industry goes forward into the future. And then there was last year's opening series, 2025 inspiration.jimcarroll.com. You might get a sense I like to write. So here's what I'm doing this year. 26 principles that we need in a world which is just evolving crazy fast. Every single post, and I'm up to number 12 as of today, covers the exponential mindset, the mindset we need to be in to deal with the really fast change. The linear trap, we fall into these behaviors and patterns which, essentially make us slow. And I talk about the exponential edge. What is it that we need to do to align this faster world, and some ideas on what you can do to start aligning to that right now. And it's all unfolding on multiple social networks. It's also posted daily at 2026.jimcarroll.com. And I want to tell you about what I've written so far. In the introduction, what I said was that the greatest barrier to potential exponential growth is linear thinking. You need to understand the concept of what is happening with exponential change. And I covered that in the second post, where I put in perspective what's happening in the energy industry, the electrical industry, what's happening in the world of medicine, what's happening in the world of construction, what's happening in virtually every industry, just the absolute ridiculous exponential rates of change. You need to understand the difference between exponential and linear. And what I wrote in that day's post was the rate of change outside your control must be met by a greater rate of learning inside your mind. You need to pick up the pace in terms of what you're learning. So then I jump right into the trends. What do you need to do? You need to master the skill of what I call temporal literacy. And that's, look, you got to stop judging the speed of your future by the slow pace of your past. You can't presume that the slow pace of the past is what's going to happen in the future. Everything is becoming faster still. If there's one thing I consistently hear on every single stage from the events I speak at, it's that people are overwhelmed and freaked out by the rate of change. Get used to it. It's only going to get faster. Number two, you've got to get used to the idea of what I call strategic self-pruning. Here's what I said. If you want to move fast tomorrow, you must unburden yourself from the anchor that is yesterday. You got to let go of the stuff which is holding you back. You got to look at the barriers you've got in the way. You got to look at the cultures and attitudes which are, making you think and act and deliberate slowly. Number three, get used to ambiguity. You got to develop ambiguity tolerance. We don't know where the heck we're going anywhere in the future. What I like to say on stage is, we don't know where we're going, but we're making great time. And what I emphasize in this post, and you want to read this one, is don't try to be certain about what comes next. Just be decisive. Make decisions. You got to decide to move forward. And to do that, you need to develop a little bit of a skill of what I call anticipatory intelligence. Look, I'm a futurist. I've been pretty darn good over 30 years in advising organizations and people as to what comes next, what to do about it. But there is so much capability out there that we are all developing the capability to be our own futurist and learn to develop and hone that skill. Learn to watch the trends. There's a lot of stuff out there, very quiet whispers right now, which are going to tell you exactly where we're going to be 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 10 years from now. Develop that intelligence. You got to master the velocity of knowledge. It's the only way to get ahead. Look, I've been preaching the idea of just-in-time knowledge for years, and what I'm emphasizing is you've got to learn faster than new knowledge appears. Knowledge is going out of date faster than ever before. Your ability to get the right knowledge at the right time, for the right purpose, for the right situation, that's what will define your success. Oops, and look at that. Somehow I jumped into the wrong slide, 24 strategies for 2024. Let's jump into number 6, iterative obsession. That was kind of perfect. Make more, better mistakes. What I emphasize in this post is that There's so much going on. The only way to get ahead is to make a mistake, just like I had that wrong slide in the wrong place. The only way to understand what is coming next is to get involved with something new, experiment with it, develop your experiential capital, make a mistake, learn from it, and keep on going. This is the whole idea of iterative innovation, which is the whole process of how do we design, implement, and build the future faster. Number 7, relentless reinvention. This is a core theme. What we do right now is not what will carry us into the future. We need to continually reinvent our skills, our capabilities, our roles, our careers, the industry in which we work. Remember, in an exponential world in which change is happening faster than ever before, it's the people and careers and the industries and the companies who remain static who quickly become extinct. You want to read that one. Number 8, velocity alignment. The greatest risk you face today isn't the speed of change. It's your failure to pick up the pace. It's your failure to adapt to it. If you stay stuck in this slow living in a fast world, you're toast. It's over. Just get over it. Number 9, aim higher. Look, my biggest phrase is think big, start small, scale fast. What I jumped into in this one was that I think you need to understand that if your goals are just realistic, they're achievable. You're thinking too small. You need stretch goals. You need moonshot goals. You need to think bigger. You need to think really wide in terms of where you're going forward in the future. So you got to aim higher. Number 10, collaborative velocity. Don't protect your knowledge, connect it. The whole world now, there's so much knowledge appearing. There's so much new stuff, so many new ideas. It's not what you know that define your success. It's by the reach of your collaborative knowledge networks that you will define your success. So the bigger your network, the more you network, the more you connect with peers and non-peers, the better you will do. Number 11, radical subtraction. Move fast. You don't need more gas. You need less drag. We hold ourselves down with all the organizational sclerosis and all the attitudes and the cultures and the barriers that we put in place in moving fast. I talk about the whole process of what we have in place in terms of barriers, which hold us back. You got to take all that away. You have to learn to act fast. So to do that, you need less drag. And the one I wrote this morning, strategic humility. Remember that the hubris of experience guarantees failure. What I get into here is if we think that our past success will define our future success, we're doing it entirely wrong. It's not going to work. So I've made it to number 12. I've got 14 to go. This is going to play out every single workday, excluding holidays and weekends, up to December 31st. And then I'll conclude with my 10 great words for 2026. I want you to join in. I want you to take a look. And if you haven't been following yet, you can start to do so. You can hit the website 2026.jimcarroll.com. Every single post to date has been there. I'm doing a little bit of cleanup to make it look a little better, but you can jump in and dive in and read all of these and start to get an idea of what it is you need to do to align to this crazy fast future. I am convinced that we are living in the fastest period of change that we have ever seen, and it's implicit on us to do the right things to align to it. So visit 2026.jimcarroll.com. You can also sign up to get these daily at inspiration.jimcarroll.com. You can also do that at daily.jimcarroll.com. You can sign up via Substack, Medium. It's out here on LinkedIn. It's posted to Facebook, other fine social networks. Tune in, get yourself into the right mindset you need for 2026. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday when I post number, scary, number 13. Futurist Jim Carroll.